Hi there, today we're going to talk about the Punisher Return to Big Nothing Epic Collection from Marvel. Okay, so the Punisher Return to Big Nothing Epic Collection is the next in line of the Punisher Epic Collections. They're not released in chronological order, so this one actually comes before the Jigsaw Puzzle Epic Collection for the Punisher, which was out before this one. But it is a collection of the Punisher stories. We'll have a look at the book. We'll talk about what goes on in those stories a bit more then, and then we'll come back and we'll have a little wrap up. Okay, so we've got the Punisher Return to Big Nothing Epic Collection. The picture of the Punisher on the front, Punisher on the back with Thor, Captain America, which comes into play in a story later, very briefly, I should say. Then we've also got the volume number and the years that it covers, 89 to 90. If you know the Epic Collections, as I said in this video earlier, you'll know that they don't come out in order necessarily, chronological order that is, but you get a nice lot. As with all of the Epic Collections, you get the contents of other Epic Collections to see what you're missing out on in the cover. Then you get a proper contents page here showing the stories you get in the collections, and then you're straight into it. This is a great little collection of Punisher stories. I think Punisher's obviously an acquired taste. If you know what you're getting with him, then you won't be disappointed. If it comes as any surprise to you that it's a veteran who's got some trauma, and then he goes off killing criminals, then maybe it's not the book for you. But this is what the Punisher should be. This or the Garth Ennis versions, let's say. So you've got him reminiscing about his old army base, Big Nothing, and then you've got a more senior person in his troop who beats him up and bullies him. This is before he's become sort of the hardened soldier that he was, and he nicknames Frank Big Nothing. They end up crossing paths in later life. The bully has become a criminal who is still in the army, but he's selling weapons and drugs and such things. So Castle's going to get him. But this bloke isn't fazed by the fact that Castle's coming from, because he knows that he's just Big Nothing and he'll get him. Now, obviously, they have some set twos, and there's just some fun bits in there that I won't spoil. I'm trying to rush past these in the story. You've also got a story here where there's a submarine and there's politicians involved, and essentially it's a Punisher versus the Navy. Oh, hello, we've got a kitten coming past. Then you've got another one where Frank rescues a girl from a botched police or FBI raid, puts her with some people in the church, and then goes off to get the people responsible. But there's a ironic twist at the end of the story. I won't spoil what that twist is. This is him getting tortured by someone there. It's a grim torture because he gets a plastic bag put over his head and it gets filled with piss, and the Punisher stands up to this torture and manages to maintain his fake identity. Then you have the Punisher in an air fight with someone, which he beats. You get this little story here, which is the Punisher goes to the park once a week, and there's someone sending messages to him through kites, finds drinks left for him, and can't work out why. You have the Kingpin and Doctor Doom forming an alliance, but Doom says that he's going to do what the Kingpin can't do, which is get rid of the Punisher. The Punisher is a bit like, well, what the hell do you want with me, Doom? Takes him out, but he's actually a Doom bot. And then he goes to that area. There he is with a microchip where it is, where he's lederhosen. The way Doom reacts to Frank Castle when he actually gets him in Latveria is just funny, and it just makes for a good time, let's say. This is where you get Captain America. He's quelling some protesters, or rather, he's standing up for the protesters' rights, and you see Frank lures doom to him by putting a picture of his mum and dad on top of his van and driving into a superhero battle that he knows that Dean would be monitoring just to enrage him. One thing to say about this before, I'm not going to go through every single story, but when they make Punisher TV shows or films, they never have the battle van or the voiceover / war journal. You need that in these stories, and I think if they were looking to make a Punisher TV series, just have the war journal voiceover. I know you're meant to show not tell, but it's such a large part of the character, that inner monologue, that's probably why a lot of people don't like the way the films turn out or the TV series turn out, and they just need to go all in with it just being ridiculous, a level of ultra violence and just sort of over the topness. And I think they could just take these stories and do an episode on each of these stories in all of these epic collections, or the Garth Ennis runs if they wanted to do the movies, because they're a bit more cinematic, let's say, and that would be great. You don't need to make him understandable or relatable. He's a nutter, but it's just fun because look, here he's going up against the Reavers. Great. This is a good story where the Reavers get hacked by Microchip. They come to find out who was doing the hacking. They don't realise it's the Punisher till they get there. They don't even realise who the Punisher is, I don't think, because obviously the Reavers are from Australia, and there's just this battle between the two. It's just great fun. You get a look at the Punisher's arsenal. There's also a bit about his fighting techniques as well. You see Microchip on his own little mission there, and then finish up with the last story. Gets a few sort of pencils of the pages, and you're done. You don't really get extras per se in these epic collections.
Okay, so that was the book. I say a nice collection of stories. I really enjoyed reading this. It's a quick read, it's a fun read, and it is an example of why they keep messing up the Punisher when they try and do him in the latest TV series. They keep trying to make the Punisher serious, and I know he covers serious subjects because he's killing people, but in reality what you need is them to just take these stories, all the Garth Ennis ones, make them into a crazy, ultra-violent TV series or movie, a bit like Punisher Warzone tried to do, and just keep it at that level. There are plenty of revenge thrillers out there. There are plenty of action films with lots of violence in. So there's no reason for them not to do that with the Punisher. Unfortunately, because his logo got taken up by some bad people, that's tarnished that a little bit. But in reality, there's no reason to say they shouldn't just make a crazy off-the-wall series with the voiceover, as I mentioned before, in it, and just run with it. Anyway, I think this is a great book. It's a great read. Buy it before it goes out of print, because they don't seem to keep epic collections in print for too long. Maybe it's just where I buy them from, I can't get them, but I always think, oh, I wish I'd bought the other ones in tangible format rather than digital, but there we go. Let me know what you think about it. Please feel free to like and subscribe, and I'm also working my way through the second volume of the Punisher Garth Ennis Max omnibus, so we'll be talking about that soon as well. But thanks for watching.